There was a time when I'd sit on the edge of my bed, laundry piled beside me, and a desk hidden under papers I kept avoiding. My phone wouldn't stop buzzing with work messages, dinner still had to be made, and all I could think was, I can't keep up anymore. That was the moment I decided to try decluttering just to see if it could help me breathe again. It turned out to be much more than cleaning. Decluttering slowly lifted the weight off my shoulders, helping me manage my time, ease stress, and feel more at peace in my space. If you're feeling surrounded by mess and not sure where to start, I understand. In this video, I'll share 10 lessons that helped me simplify my home, plus a few things I wish I'd known earlier. Maybe this will be the shift you've been looking for. Let's begin. Stop organizing. Start letting go. One thing I used to get wrong about decluttering was thinking I had to organize and sort everything perfectly as I went. I'd spend hours deciding what to keep, where it should go, and how it should be arranged. By the end, nothing was actually gone, I just moved the mess around. Instead of feeling accomplished, I felt like I'd wasted all that time. That was when I realized decluttering is about removing, not rearranging. If I could redo those days, I'd skip the perfect system and just focus on getting things out of the house. A chipped mug, an expired bottle of lotion, a shirt I never wear gone. No sorting piles, no second guessing, just quick decisions and a donation box ready. Even a 5-minute session can make a visible difference, and it's far easier to keep going when you see progress fast. So if you've been stuck because you're overthinking where everything should go, let it go literally. Don't aim for perfect, aim for lighter. The less you own, the easier everything else becomes. The sooner you let go, the more energy you'll have for the right moment to tackle what's left. And our next tip is also about making the process easier by choosing the time that works best for you. Lesson number 2. Here's something that can make decluttering harder than it needs to be starting when you're already running on empty. You tell yourself, I'll just get a little done before bed, but it's after dinner, the kids' homework, and a full day of work. Your back aches, your brain is fried, and even folding one pile of laundry feels like a mountain. Before you know it, you've left the job half finished, and the mess looks worse than when you began. The truth is, decluttering is so much easier when you do it at your peak energy time. Maybe that's right after your morning coffee when the kitchen is quiet and sunlight spills in. Or right after school drop-off when your mind feels clear and you can move quickly without interruptions. At those times, clearing a countertop or emptying a drawer can take just 10 minutes and actually feel easy. So don't force yourself to push through when you're drained. Pick your best hour, not your leftover minutes. You'll get more done with less effort, and you'll actually want to keep going. Lesson number 3. One reason decluttering stalls is trying to work in too big of an area at once. You pull everything out of a closet or spread items across the whole living room floor thinking you'll just sort it all in one go. But halfway through, you're surrounded by piles, too tired to keep going and tempted to shove it all back where it came from. Smaller spaces are your best friend. Pick one drawer, one shelf, or even just the top of the side table. Give yourself permission to finish that space completely before touching anything else. The satisfaction of seeing one area truly done makes it much easier to tackle the next. So forget the all-day marathons. Break the work into bite-sized wins. The less you overwhelm yourself, the more likely you are to stick with your decluttering and actually enjoy the process. And if your only free time is late in the day when you're already tired, tomorrow's video might just be the shortcut you didn't know you needed. Only 10 minutes to bring back a peaceful, clean home. Join me in tomorrow's video. You might be surprised at how much of a difference just a few minutes can make. All right, now let's move on to the next lesson, sorting the items in your home. Number 4, I used to sort things into 3 piles. Keep, donate, and think about it. Sounds organized, right? But that donate pile would just sit in the corner for weeks. Every time I walked past it annoyed me, and once I even took half of it back into the house. Talk about going in circles. Now, I keep just one go-away box by the door. The moment I see something I don't use anymore, a dress I haven't worn in 2 seasons, a vase collecting dust, or a blender I already replaced it, goes straight in. Once the box is full, it leaves the house that week, no exceptions. I think of it as a one-way street for unwanted things. Once they're out for good. And when they're gone, the house feels lighter, and so do I. But even with that, I still caught myself waiting for the perfect day to declutter, and it never came. That's why in the next lesson, I'll share how I stopped waiting and started making real progress in just the small pockets of time I already had. Number 5. I used to tell myself I'd start decluttering when I had a full, quiet day to really focus. No work deadlines, no errands, no one asking where their shoes are. But that day never came. And while I was waiting, the clutter just kept spreading room by room. One Saturday, I was on the phone with my sister and absent-mindedly opened the hallway cabinet. There it was, a stack of winter scarves I hadn't touched in years, still smelling faintly of mothballs. Without overthinking, I pulled them out, bagged them, and set the bag by the front door. By the time our call ended, I'd made more progress than I had in months of planning to start. That's when it clicked for me. I didn't need an entire day. I just needed to grab the small windows of time I already had. Now I declutter while waiting for laundry to finish, while pasta water boils, or even while chatting on the phone. Little by little, it adds up. And the best part is you don't even feel like you're doing a big clean. And now the next lesson I want to share is about a kind of mess that's easy to miss, the little things that blend into your home so well you stop noticing them, but they quietly steal the peace from your space. Lesson number 6. You know that feeling when you think your home's tidy until you really look. That's the invisible clutter, the things you've stopped noticing because they've been sitting there for so long. Instead of looking at your space the way you always do, try this: stand in your doorway and pretend you're a guest walking in for the first time. What's the first thing that catches your eye? Maybe it's the pile of reusable bags spilling onto the pantry floor, a chipped mug holding random pens on the counter, or a stack of old magazines that no one's touched in years. Last week I did this in my living room and spotted 3 quick fixes: an empty candle jar, a dusty vase I didn't even like anymore, and a tangle of old phone chargers. 5 minutes later, they were gone, and the room felt instantly fresher without moving a single piece of furniture. The small stuff matters. Clear the little things you no longer see, and your home will feel lighter in ways you didn't expect. A reset spot can change the whole feel of a room. Next, let's talk about a hidden type of clutter you might be overlooking. Lesson number 7. Ever walk into a room and feel instantly annoyed even if it's not a full-blown mess? That's because your eyes land on small, out-of-place things: a half-empty coffee cup, yesterday's sweater on the chair, the TV remote buried under papers. They're little, but together they make the whole room feel off. Here's what works for me. Every room gets one reset spot, the one surface that, if it's clear, makes the whole space look calmer. In my living room, it's the coffee table. In my bedroom, it's the dresser top. Every night, I spend a couple of minutes putting that spot back to zero, fold the blanket, stack the remote, and books take the cup to the kitchen. It's such a small habit, but it changes how the entire room feels when you walk in. You don't need to perfect every corner. Just keep your reset spot clear, and you'll start each day feeling like the space is under control. And once you've got that calm starting point, I'll show you a simple trick in the next lesson to stop new clutter from piling up in the first place. Lesson number 8. You know that moment when you see crumbs on the table or a pile of mail in the hallway, and you think, I'll handle it later? Later usually never happens, not because you don't care, but because the trash bags are in the garage, the cloth is in the laundry, and it's just one more step you don't have energy for. Here's the fix. Keep a small decluttering emergency kit in the spot you pass by. Most mine is right by the kitchen door. Inside, a few trash bags, a cleaning cloth, a spray bottle, and some small bags for sorting. When I see something that needs to go, I can handle it right then in under 2 minutes without wandering around looking for supplies. It's such a tiny setup, but it's the reason little messes don't snowball anymore. When what you need is already within reach, you deal with things in the moment. And that's the secret to keeping clutter from building up in the first place. When the little messes don't get a chance to pile up, what's left are those almost finished spots. And that's where the next lesson setting a finish line day really comes in. Lesson number 9. You know that almost done feeling when the closet looks better, but the donation box is still in the hallway, or the bathroom drawers are neat, but the old lotions are still sitting under the sink. Those little leftovers quietly drain your energy because the job never feels finished. Here's what works for me. I set one day each month as my finish line day. No big cleaning, no starting new projects, just wrapping up the loose ends. I'll tape up the donation boxes and put them straight in the car. Drop off returns, take recycling out, and finally hang that picture frame that's been leaning against the wall for weeks. It's such a small habit, but it changes the feeling of my home completely. Closing the loop means the clutter is truly gone, not just shifted around. And once you feel that sense of completion, it's easier to keep going with the next space, which brings us to the final lesson. One simple habit that makes coming home feel instantly calm the moment you walk through the door. Lesson number 10. Ever come home after a long day, open the door, and feel weighed down by what you see? Shoes scattered at the entry, yesterday's mug still on the counter, the couch blanket in a crumpled heap. That first sight can set the tone for your whole evening. Here's what I do instead before leaving the house. Even if I'm in a rush, I give myself 5 minutes to reset the space I'll see first when I walk back in. I line up the shoes, fold the blanket, put cups in the sink, and give the counter a quick wipe. It's not about perfection. It's about creating a softer landing for myself later. That tiny habit makes such a difference. Coming home to a clear, calm space feels like a gift from my past self. It's one less reason to feel tense and one more reason to exhale the moment I step inside. You don't need to change your whole home at once. Just one drawer, one corner, one habit can shift how your space feels. Decluttering isn't about perfection, but about creating a place where you can breathe. Think clearly and move without feeling weighed down. If even one idea from today helps you feel lighter in your own home, that's already enough. Everything I've shared comes from my own trial and error, the things that actually worked for me, not just nice ideas from a book. If you found any of it helpful, giving this a like will let me know to keep sharing more of my real life experiences that might make your own decluttering journey a little easier.